All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our TensorFlow course, and we're still doing our human emotions detection module. Let's have a look at what we went over today. Yesterday, if you recall, we went over the steps of creating our value data set, our validation data set, and our training data set. Let me show you those really quickly. Those here, that's the training, and that's the validation. Now today we're going to go over the process of visualizing our data, and we're going to do some light. I'm not going to do too much reading because I want to run the programs for you, and it may take a little long. So just going to show you what the code looks like, and then we're going to run a program so I can show you some differences. So this is everything, all the steps we took to actually create the process of generating our images. We go ahead and compile that so we can get going. All right, this is the first one here. So we're going to generate our images. And the first time we generate them, we're going to get classifications for each image. You're going to see zeros, ones, and twos. That's going to be a specific classification for either happy, sad, or angry. And I can show you that better when the images do pop up. And then we're going to run a different version of the code. As you can see, we have this one commented out here. I'm going to uncomment it and then comment this one out so we can show you an alternate version of the code compiling. This one is actually going to have the actual words instead of the number representation. So yeah, I didn't want to delete it and make two separate codes, so I just made two separate lines, and I'm going to comment them out alternatively to show you what they look like one by one. And again, I am recording, so it may take a little bit longer to compile since we are trying to record and actually compile at the same time. So hopefully it doesn't take too long, but I don't have to just make a separate video showing you what they look like pre-compiled. It shouldn't take that long. The code isn't even that long as of now. You can see we don't have that much code written. It's just the training data set, the value data set, and then just the inputs and everything, which are already ran. So I don't see why it would take so long. Yeah, hopefully it gets running soon so we can do that, and then we can get the second one going, and then we can actually compare those so I can show you the differences. And I am trying to. Okay, so here we go. Here you can see files found. Like I explained to you yesterday, this is for the training data set. This is for the value data set or validation data set, and that's compiling there. And our images should pop up right after this. So here we go. Here we're starting, as you can see. So you can see two. So I'm assuming that two is sad, zero is angry, and one should be happy. There it is there. So that's all it is. You're going to see zeros and ones and twos. And we're still doing a batch of 16. So we're going to do 16 images. And as you can see, it's just going through every image in that batch. And it's going to give it a number representation of 0, 1, or 2. And that's it right there. So we're going to go through all 16 of them. Nice, that's done. So now we're going to uncomment this one out here. We're going to comment out this version. And we're going to run it again so we can actually see the difference. So I can show you exactly what they look like. Let's come on now, guys. I don't know why it hasn't done with the process yet. It should be done. So I can go ahead and here we go. Let's get that going. And this is going to be the second version. Now this should be the class names where we can actually see the word instead of the 0, 1, or 2 representation. We should actually see the words happy, sad, or angry over top of the specified images. And that's what we did today. So this is how we're going to visualize our data. So we have our images over. You can see here we're still taking one. So that's going to be one batch out of our data sets for a range of 16. Now we're going to take the first 16 images out of that data set. These are all plot sizes and all of the specific information we need. And this is how we actually show it. I added this plt.show. If you remember, we had an issue with the plts earlier. So added the .show because our subplot wasn't working where it popped up all on the same sheet. It's not really an issue. It just comes up one by one, but everything is still functioning properly. So that's that. Yeah, so I added the PLT show so we can actually see those images, and it is firing up pretty quickly. That's good. So I can show you the differences in the two codes. So if you remember, the first one was the zeros, ones, and twos. And let's see what this second one looks like with this new line of code. So as you can see, bam. So we have sad, angry, happy. So that's all it is. So just tweaking the line of code just a little bit, we can actually get a lot more specific with the data we return instead of having to figure out what the 0 or the 1 or the 2 represents and remembering those numbers. You can actually just have it so that you can see the words right there, and it's be a lot easier to read our data and decipher through what we need to decipher through. Yep, so that's our human emotions detection module. We're still in the basics, or we're still in the beginning of it. And of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way as we move forward. But for now, this is the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.